Hello everyone. Welcome back to Twisted Wonderland. So I thought, let's record Trials of Romance. Did we do it? We're gonna do it. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, look at how Jade is. So mysterious. Yeah, I'm not playing for him. I will if I have to, but here we go. Book 1, The Wedding Invitation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if we have a summary, but let me just check if we have a summary. No, notices. Here we go. Here's the summary. Once upon a time, a mermaid and a human man fell deeply in love. Legend has it that two moray eels served as the sea which subjugated the lovers to a trial that tested and further reinforced their affection for another. This tale gave rise to the wedding tradition now known as the Forever Float. Eternity, thank you very much. A tradition you and your companions are about to take part in right here at the Ultramarine City. Jade knows this port city in the Sunshine Lands like the back of his fin. It has all crystal-cleared seas, fresh-caught seafood, and a coastline widely regarded as the most gorgeous in the world. Once he's done showing you around, you'll be helping a happy couple celebrate their union by putting it to the test when the groom and the bride fall right into the brine. That's a moray. Oh god, that is actually pretty cute. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So, only book 1 and 2 are out right now. Book 3 does not come out till next Monday. So, we are going to try to get through book 1 in this episode, and then we'll get through book 2. Also, ladies and gentlemen, in case if you don't know, here are the cards. So, if you're getting a Riddle is the SR, and you get them at his event, and then you have Rook, which you'll be getting him too. Remember, guys, in order to get these cards, you have to complete the event. Mostly for the R card, you have to complete the event, okay? And Riddle, you have to complete the event, and you have to, I believe, Riddle, you need to get, oh yeah, so right here, you have to earn a total of 500 coral. Now, ladies and gentlemen, does that mean you can't waste the coral? No, you can waste the coral if you want to buy other things or upgrade. So, as you see right here, Riddle's getting upgraded with coral. However, ladies and gentlemen, overall, you have to have collected at least 500. So, say that you collected, like, say 700, but you wasted 400 of that 700. Technically, ladies and gentlemen, you still qualify, okay? So, some people get confused with that, so there's that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the coral and other things that you obtain, you can buy things. So, like, if you want a groovy, I believe when you want a groovy Rook and Riddle's cards, because these two are part of the event, you have to use the, you don't use their little lollipops. Instead, you use the little jackets that are available for them in the shop. So that is the only way you guys can groovy them. Malleus and Jade, you would be able to groovy them in their, Malleus and Jade, you guys can groovy them via their groovy okay? So there's that. If you saw, like, the previous video of me, like, getting Malleus, you will see that I'm using his dragon lollipop to, groovy him instead of, like, the little waistcoat jacket that Jade has on. Alright, enough of me blabbing, let's get this started. Book 1, Wedding Invitation. I'm actually trying to remember why Floyd did not go to this, or why Floyd isn't involved in this. Or maybe it's like the Leona event that Jamil was invited, but you just didn't see him, and same thing happened with Floyd. Maybe that's what's happening here. I anticipated this. Oh no. What did you anticipate? I just realized I did not do the missions. I anticipated this. I'll be honest, this is the first time I see Jade's room. Jade's room looks pretty good. Look at that. Look at his shoes. Alright, I think I'm all packed. Hey Jade, are you ready yet? I want to get going. Someone's impatient. Look, we ain't been back there since our last holiday. It's exciting, okay? Octavadale Dorm Lounge. Here we go. Jade, Floyd, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Morning, Azul. This is really nice weather, huh? Gotta be a good sign. You're in a rather high spirits today. Floyd and I have been looking forward to this ever since our trip in the Sunshine Lands was finalized 6 months ago. Please, you're lying through your teeth. Floyd, at least have completely forgotten about said Sanjur when I brought it up yesterday. What I'm curious about is why you're visiting the Sunshine Lands at this time of year. I can understand your excitement if you were going home to the Coral Sea for a visit, but this is something else entirely. Our mother asked us to go. Oh, your mother. That takes me back. It's been quite some time since you saw her last. Would you like to join us for the trip? I think not. Azul does not like the mom or something? Every time your mother sees me, she plies me with the endless amount of snacks, no matter how many times I try to decline. She asks strange questions, bursts out laughing out of nowhere, stares at me blankly without saying a word, tells my mother a blend of truths and lies, has a tea with my grandmother, and engages in entirely unnecessary small talk. Why is Floyd getting disinterested? No! Is this how Floyd ends up not going? He loses interest? Please no. Anyway, the point is, she's difficult to deal with, and I prefer not to accompany you given that choice. I believe all that is simply her trying to be kind in her own way, but I suppose there's no changing your mind. Our preparations are all finished. Now that's all left is to pass through the mirror. We'll be back soon, Azul. Floyd, shall we be off to the mirror chamber? Nah, I'm out. Pardon? Look what you did, Azul. Look what you freaking did, Azul. This is all Azul's fault. Ladies and gentlemen, put a target on Azul. It's his fault. It is his fault. Your fault. In the time Azul spent yammering, I decided I ain't in the mood anymore. I'm gonna sleep in my dorm room today. There it is. Another classic Floyd mood swing. You were so excited for there a few mere minutes ago. Well, so it goes. I anticipated this might happen, and I'm prepared to make the trip by myself. Don't be so quick to play along! A solo trip hardly seems fun, though, Azul. Your company would be... I'm not going, and that's final. Please stop trying to rope me into something so unpleasant. My, how rejection stings. What's the big idea about going, Azul? Chances like this don't come along every day. Then perhaps you should go after all. I told you, I ain't in the mood anymore. It's sad to see you two competing over who doesn't go. I prefer to find someone actually interested in joining me. Who else could I convince to depart on such a short notice? Perhaps someone with too much, sufficient free time on their hands. I could point you in the right direction there. Oh, no. Who did you get? Of course, I hate you, Azul. Ramshackled. Actually, no, I want to go to the beach. Man, hanging out at Ramshackle was boring, but going on walks is even more boring. I want to go to a party. I want to do something fun. You know what? I want to go to a party. I want to party. Now you're talking. I'm going to chow down on tons of some good food. Man, if only someone would invite us. Well, found us a little shrimpy and a sealy with nothing better going on. If you want people with ample time on their hands, look no further. Interesting. They certainly seem worth reaching out to. Azul's like, I pity these people now. Azul's like, I might have messed up. Nah, Azul, I'm gonna go have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to actually thank Azul for his benevolence for once. A hand of fate. Guys, we need to thank Azul. So thank Azul for his benevolence. We thank him for that. The hand of fate. Ramshackle dorm. Good morning, Grim, Seraphina. Oh, hey, Jade. I could sense the hand of fate is behind our coincidental meeting. Would you rather care to join me at a wedding? A wedding? Wait, you're getting married? No, it isn't my wedding. Should have figured. So who's the happy couple? Friend of yours? Nope, they are complete and total strangers. Why are you going to a wedding for people you don't even know? An acquaintance of my mother's is the one holding it. Tomorrow at the Sunshine Lands. Floyd and I are supposed to head there today to assist with the pre-wedding ceremony. But sadly, Floyd can no longer make it due to unavoidable circumstances. Which has left me terribly anxious about going by myself. Dear me, what a conundrum. Now, there's no one I can turn to help, aside from your two kindly souls. Would you be willing to join me on the trip on Sunshine Lands? Why should I go to a total stranger's wedding? Pass, that sounds boring. There will be a lavish party after the wedding. A party? Will there be food? Of course, seafood, meat, cake, fruit, and all of the plethora of fancy delicacies from around the region. And you'll be able to enjoy plenty of sightseeing in the Sunshine Lands when you're not helping with the ceremony. Now you're talking. Sign me up for that. You're in too, right, Seraphina? I don't know. I love to go. Here's the thing. Usually I would be like, I don't know, because it's Jade. It's Jade. I'm gonna go how I would respond. Basically, because I don't trust Jade. I don't know. Please, Seraphina. I simply don't know what I'll do if you and Grim say no. Sightseeing sounds fun, don't it? You gotta come with me, henchhuman. I'm not your henchhuman. We better get back to Ramshackle, Seraphine. There's a lot of stuff we gotta pack. It's settled. Please meet me at the mirror chamber in an hour. An hour? That ain't nowhere near enough to get ready. Oh, I see. How unfortunate. In that case, we better call off our agreement. Hey, Seraphina, let's head back now and get packing already. How reassuring. I feel so much better now that I don't have to go alone. I'll see you soon then. We're running. 1 hour later. Oh. I forgot. Okay, so Grim. Okay, we got Riddle. Wait, how did Jade rope Riddle into this? This is my actual concern. And yes, Malleus. Invite Malleus. Malleus like, okay. Actually, no, I don't even need to know why Rook got roped into this. Just say Rowmance and Rook is there. What's with the crowd? Greetings, Trickster and Monsieur Pliteux. Were you invited here by Jade as well? I'm not going to do this French accent too much. Wait, he asked you guys too? Hey, Jade, you said there wasn't anyone else you could turn to for help besides us. I was greatly relieved to find an unexpected number of individuals at school with an excess amount of time on their hands. An excess? You interrupted my very busy schedule to plead with me to go. Oh, wait, I have to do this in the Riddle voice. In excess. You interrupted my very busy schedule to plead with you to go. You kept moping in front of me at how the ceremony would be ruined because the attendance is too low to meet rule requirements. Until I grudgingly, reluctantly agreed to go. You're down one person because of Floyd, so you get up with 5 others? I fail to see how the math adds up. He invited me, claiming the wedding would be more classy for my presence. If he reached out to this many people, that's gotta be a lie too, right? Go get him, Hornthorn. Get back at Jade for tricking you. No, I shall do no such thing. It's truly rather that I'm invited to weddings. I'm rather touched. Regardless of his reasons, I cannot let this opportunity pass me by. I am absolutely attending. I could feel Malleus's determination. When Jade approached me, he said there was to be a delightful wedding and as the head count was far too low. He claimed the soon-to-be newlyweds were feeling very sad and lonely because of that, and he was pleaded with me to attend. I agree with that hesitation, after all. What could be more fulfilling than being in the service on such a lovely occasion? So he adjusted his angle with each of us. Thank you all so much. I ventured all over school reaching out to everyone I found. But you're the only ones who accepted my invitation. I'm deeply grateful for your generosity and completely open schedules. I get a feeling we're the butt of this joke. Oh, not at all. I feel much happier having all of you come with me. I'm afraid that if I worked alone, the Forever Float would never be such a success. The Forever Float? Not familiar with that. I can hardly blame you. It's a social event that's relatively unknown on the land. To put it insolently, it's a test of love. Now I'm even more confused. Allow me to explain in more detail. I just love this jazz music. La 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 la. Mirror chamber. The Forever Float. Okay, guys, I have to do some lessons soon. The Forever Float is based on the legends about the moray eels. Moray eels have legends? Yes, the sea witch has always been accompanied by 2 such creatures, and tales about them live on this day in the Coral Sea. One of the most popular antecedents is about the time the moray tested the love of a mermaid who fell in love with someone of another species. The sea witch was a virtuous individual who offered the consolations to merfolk dealing with personal woes. One day she bestowed legs upon the mermaid who had fallen in love with the prince of the land above. When the mermaid later went on a date with the prince and boarded a rowboat, the sea witch's morays were quick to act. The legend has it they worked together to rock the boat and overturn it. As a result of their deed, the mermaid and her beloved bond grew deeper. Or so they say. How would a rock in a boat bring people closer? Perhaps it could have been due to the suspension of bridge effect. Going through somewhat thrilling experience can make one feel love that is much more strongly. That sounds weird. That tale gave rise to a customary ceremony held before the weddings. The Forever Float. So it's a ceremony related to one of the Great Seven's attendants. How fascinating. Indeed, the ceremony's name is romantic as the tale as it originates from. It's a couple that can overcome this test of their love. All that's left is to float along their voyage towards eternal happiness. The name truly conveys the sentiment behind it. So it does. Simply hearing the name Forever Float makes me envision a happy wedding. Exactly, but sadly it is not well known. Ceremony on land.
Huh? Why not?
Many people in the Coral Sea admire the tale. The ceremony has popularity among merfolk, but is reserved solely for a situation like this, one in the story that is a marriage between a land dweller and merfolk. There's more merfolk like ourselves nowadays who receive legs that come to live on land. But marriages between merfolk and land dwellers remain rather rare. There's perhaps only a single couple each year that undergoes the Forever Float ceremony at their wedding. And the sheer rarity means we'll have a little occasion to ever learn of it. That's impressive. Such a rarely held ceremony remains a tradition. I'm curious what this entails. First, the bride and groom to be board the small boat and row out to the sea. They sail around the cove while whispering sweet nothings to each other. Then the people play the role of morays, put themselves through the trials to test their love. Trials? That's a rather broad term. What does it entail specifically? It can be a wide range of things. I suppose it would depend on the inclinations of who's playing the morays at the time. Typical trials include throwing objects at the boat, splashing water all over it, or jabbing it with oars. Oh la la! What violent tribulations! To be fair, the tradition does originate from the story of morays overturning a boat. But surely no one actually overturns the boat with the bride and groom in it. Many have tried, but from what I hear, it's rather difficult to overturn a boat. They've tried? Then it is acceptable to overturn it? Of course, in fact, so much better if someone can actually pull it off, like in the story. But the boat with 2 people in it is heavy. It would take a whole group of adult merfolk to properly overturn it. Circling a cove doesn't take long, so flipping the boat would be quite a challenge. Hence, it's very rare. You said this forever whatever is already rare, right? So, if this is rare even for that, yes, no one successfully flipped over a boat for the past several decades. I've heard that when morays who've managed to feat appeared, the wedding attendees erupted in cheers and applause. What a strange pre-wedding ceremony. Customs can differ by region, and variety is the spice of life. Getting to experience a foreign custom I've never been exposed to otherwise is certainly intriguing. I've seen the Forever Float ceremony held in Sunshine Lands before. I never forget the sight of the bride and groom screaming and clinging desperately to their wildly rocking boat. How delightful it was. That shows the people who board the boat are serious about this as well. Oh yes, young me was enamored by the idea of participating in the Forever Float ceremony. You can imagine how thrilled I was when my mother called me 6 months ago and asked if Floyd and I would play the part of the trial givers. It was a dream come true. I agree immediately, of course. Mon cher Bredermeet, you and your brother know the bride and groom? No, we're entirely unacquainted. They're friends of my mother's. Normally, the morays are played by friends or relatives of the newlyweds. But given the origins of the custom, it elevates the wedding standard to have moray merfolk give the trial. When my mother got the request to throw the wedding, she recalled my childhood admiration for the Forever Float ceremony. She spoke with the bride and groom and had those vital roles granted to myself and Floyd. So your presence is auspicious for them, such a thing, commonly traditional celebrations. Yes, this wedding aspires to be the finest. And since the holding has to come up with us for help, I am ensuring the Forever Float ceremony succeeds. That's why I'm turning to all of you to help me in Floyd's place. I'm certain that the bride and groom will be overjoyed to have you there. So AKA, I feel like I don't know how many of that is true. Okay, here we go. Oh, click. Alright, oh. What do we gotta do? Oh, I need to get 25 pieces of coral. Here we go. This is where we go to my lessons. Okay. Please give me 25 pieces of coral. I gotta go to Vil. Vil's the only one who hasn't been finished. Bye, Vil. Vil, be quiet. Skip. Boom. Boom. How many did I get? I got 31. Whoopie-ki-yay! Okay. Back to the trials. Hardly seems trivial. Alright, here we go. This seems fairly simple just to bring Floyd along. You should stick to your original plan. Oh, Riddle, you're not backing out of the trip, are you? You have no basis of shifting Floyd's responsibilities onto me in his absence. But you already agreed. Are you retracting your prior commitment? Don't deflect focus. This is nothing at all like what you told me. Floyd's not attending has nothing to do with you choosing not to travel to the Sunshine Lands. What I'm asking is whether or not you're going. And by extension, whether Hart's bully or house warden honors his commitments. Oh, he brought out the house warden. You're just splitting hairs. Oh, no, boys. But I suppose it's only right to honor my word once I've given it. Very well, I'll go. I knew I could count on you, Riddle. And Malleus, I trust you'll be... No, Wakasama. You need to be in that outfit. You were quite interested at first, but now you seem conflicted. Is something the matter? From how you explained the situation, the bride and groom have not explicitly requested my presence at their wedding. Is it appropriate for me to proceed as if they did? It feels rather as if I'm inviting myself. Why, Malleus, what a trivial thing to trouble yourself over. It hardly seems trivial to me. You have received a summons to this wedding that has been plain and a simple fact. By all means, attend with pride. Besides, you may be surprised how far word could travel in the event that you turn this invitation down. If you decline, there may be others in the future who consider inviting you to a wedding, only to hesitate because they fear you might decline due to the distaste of such ceremonies. What? Could such misunderstandings arise? Oh yes, rumors can be scary things. I have no desire to give anyone the wrong impression. Very well, I shall accompany you to the Sunshine Lands. Thank you kindly, Malleus. Rook, the forever float is a highly important ceremony preceding a wedding. If it fails to build the proper excitement, I'm sure the bride and groom will be heartbroken. Yes, that goes without saying. Such a tragedy must be averted. I'm happy to offer what assistance I may. Let us all add some flair to their special day. I hardly needed any persuasion, thank you. Jade's got all of them dancing to his tune. I trust you'll be attending, Grim?
You bet I am. As long as there's feast, I'm down for anything. My henchmen's come too.
Whatever helps the happy couple. What a wonderful sentiment, Seraphina. My word. Such a kindly individual you are. Don't smile at me like that ever again. And kindly individual you are.
The happier they are, the more generous they'll probably be with the grub at the party.
Thank you, everyone. Let's make this forever float a success. Let's give the couple some thrilling trials of love to make their joy all the greater. Yes, we'll have to carefully consider what matter of trials to provide once we arrive. Say, are Silver and the others aware that where you are going, Malleus? No, I haven't informed them. Jade simply brought me along to the mirror. No! Everyone in Insomnia is probably looking for Malleus, like, Wakasama! No, I can just imagine Sebek in the background going, Wakasama! Wakasama! And then Lilia is just like, oh boy. Well, time to look. And like they're all trying to calm down Sebek. The mirror chamber. What? Won't you be sudden absent cause of major panic and insomnia? Wait, hold on, I gotta do this. What? Won't your sudden absence cause major panic and insomnia?
Hey, we better get through the mirror then, before any annoying guy show up to stop us.
I agree. This is shaping up to be a delightful trip. I can hear Sebek in the background. Alright guys, that was book one. That was book one of the Trials of Rowmance, the wedding invitation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I feel bad for Insomnia, but at the same time, oh god, at least Malleus would be like, oh yes, I brought home gifts, and here he is, he's bringing home gifts, and all I can just imagine like Sebek going Wakasama. Oh god, is this like the first trip Malleus has gone unchaperoned? Let me think about this. I'm trying to think. I think it is, because every other trip, Malleus has either had one of his attendants with him. Like the Masquerade, Sebek and Silver. Then, and the book, like the recent Nightmare one, he had Sebek with him. The camping trip was Lilia. Lilia went with him in the camping trip. What else? yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anything outside or like doing events. Actually, no. No, wait, I forgot. Actually, no, technically, when he traveled with Kaleem and Jamil to their hometown event, because it was supposed to be Lilia, but Lilia sent Malleus in his stead. So yeah, no, this is like Malleus' second time. Okay. Problem is, everyone in Insomnia was aware that Malleus was leaving because Lilia gave his spot to him. Okay, that makes more sense. Alright guys, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed book 1 of The Trials of Rowmance. Hopefully you guys enjoy your day. Book 2 will be up shortly. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Yes, I'll be uploading a lot of videos today on Thanksgiving. Also, ladies and gentlemen, happy Black Friday as well for those who are planning their Black Friday. Alright, bye-bye!